Troy Deeney is a massive cunt. That's what you expected me to say, right? You probably expected me to reference the fact that he looks like Quasimodo after a night on the town. You expected me to talk about the fact that he looks like 6-week-old cheese, and let's be honest, dried up old fish. Well, no, actually, Troy Deeney is a bit of an inspiration. Yes, he might have a face that would terrify a small child and teeth that are bigger than my channel, but let me ask you this. What were you doing 12 years ago? Considering the age demographic of my videos, you were most likely resting in your dad's ballsack, desperately praying to God that you'd end up in a fallopian tube and not stuck at the bottom of a tissue flushed down the sink. Troy Deeney was paying 10 quid a week to play football. Whereas most 18-year-olds in the sport are pampered, primed prima donnas who'd probably burst into a flood of tears if their arses weren't wiped off their f***ing shit. Deeney was a sweaty bricklayer swilling pints at the weekend, who sort of like when Conor McGregor was unclogging sinks down the back of Dublin 4, with headlining UFC stage events the stuff of dreams. Little did he know that he'd one day grow up to fight Floyd Mayweather, launch his own whiskey and compare Russian women to towels. But I mean, like, does Deeney look like your stereotypical Premier League footballer? A lad who has about 4 butlers and his eyebrows plucked by a team of specialists on a daily basis. No, he looks like a man who spent his youth most likely drinking spirits, eating KFC and sleeping on his face, even when he did finally haul himself into the football world. Giving up on his lifetime ambition of becoming a fireman, he got nearly ripped away from him when he got tossed in jail. If you told him back in the summer of 2012 when he was sitting in a piss-soaked jail cell that he'd be a Premier League and FA Cup finalist before the decade was out, the man would have laughed in your face. But fair play to him, I mean, the man, he leads the line brilliantly for Watford. He's been with them since they were nearly in administration. He could have left for the Premier League champions at one point. Admittedly, it was a team with Danny Simpson in it, but still. But no, he stayed, and last summer he decided to stop swallowing buckets of fucking butter, and now the man actually has an athlete's body to be proud of, instead of spending his Friday night stripped naked in front of the mirror, crying into 3 tubs of Ben & Jerry's. But fair play to the man, it is a Jamie Vardy rags to riches story. Now go on and win that FA Cup. It's definitely not gonna happen, is it? Although, don't get me wrong, the man is not an angel. Even at the weekend, when Raul Jimenez scored a cracking volley and celebrated with a mask, Deeney said afterwards,
"I'm glad he put that mask on. He can wear it out as well now that he's a loser. I think you've got to wear the mask and do all that stuff when you know you're going to win the game."
I'm sorry, Jimenez has just scored a cracking volley to put his side 2-0 up in an FA Cup semi-final with 30 minutes left, and that's not the right time to celebrate. He was also in the papers for the wrong reasons this season.
Watford star Troy Deeney leaves his wife 29 for a model as his new girlfriend 26 writes mine next to social media picture of footballer.
No doubt, top of the range journalism from Mr. Sebastian Murphy Bates, who surely has the most unnecessarily long name in his profession.
Thank you for everyone's concerns, but as Team Deeney is disrespectfully publicly made aware, we are no longer together.
To be fair, Troy could have been a bit more secretive about this, writing Queen, Flawless and flame emojis on this one's Instagram photos. Did he know that Instagram comments weren't f***ing DMs? And that yes, everyone can see them, including your current f***ing wife. Anyway, the game. Watford versus Wolves for a place in the FA Cup final. Both of these teams have had pretty amazing seasons. I'm sure any old idiot could have predicted that. But come on, Watford, I've said this a million times, your way of doing business with managers is madness. We all know Javi Garcia is going to be down the dole office in about 3 months. Then again, so will I if his ad revenue doesn't pick up. Like, why did Garcia bother signing that contract? Like, the way Watford treat managers, I mean, like, if he's still there at Christmas, I will spend one night sleeping in a bin. To be honest, I do that most nights anyway. You have an average squad, and taking away Richarlison, it's like squashing the last ray of sunshine in a North Korean bomb shelter. So, 17th, lads, enjoy. Wolves went ahead through Matt Doherty, who I still can't believe is nearly 28 and still has only 5 caps for Ireland. Lad, we are f***ing shit. Our 2 best players are f***ing right backs. Is this some sort of sick joke? We're still having to chuck Sean Maguire and Aidan O'Brien up front for Christ's sake. Give us a f***ing striker instead of another right back. It's like moving into a house with no bedrooms and 2 f***ing attics. Anyway, Wolves then double their lead through Jimenez. Mask comes out, Deeney nearly has a hernia, and that looks to be it. I go on Twitter and make a tit of myself.
It might seem mad considering 2 managers are probably going to end up with 90 plus points, but is Nuno Espirito Santo worth a shout for manager of the year? FA Cup final, top half finish. Wolves were playing Burton Albion last season.
Oh Christ, why do I talk? Why do I talk? And then Jared Deulofeu comes on, scoops home a delightful chip, and then 95th minute, Deeney leathers home a penalty. And then Deulofeu bags home a winner in extra time, leaving Wolves wondering what the f*** happened. Fernando Gomez was in tears again. That man cries more often than a f***ing X Factor contestant, but since he's retiring at the end of the season, this is nice for him. He'll be able to spend his last game of football picking the ball out of his net about 5 or 6 times. I mean, come on lads, I might as well end the season as I started it, by pissing off legions of Watford fans. In the other semi-final, Man City took on Brighton It was a terrible game. 1-0, Gabriel Jesus after 4 minutes, and then nothing. Kyle Walker could have been sent off after kissing a Brighton winger with his forehead, but that's about it. Laporte cleared one off the line. City fans presumably spent most of the game playing Candy Crush on their phones. Well, I assume so, because they sure as hell weren't making any noise. Brighton had 10,000 more fans than City at Wembley. Raheem Sterling paid for 500 kids to come and watch this game, which was nice of him in theory. After putting up with this sludge for 90 minutes, those kids would have probably been demanding their goddamn afternoons back. Anyway, onto the Premier League. So you might think the big story on Friday night was Mo Salah and Jordan Henderson spearheading yet another Liverpool win. No, it was the small matter of Shane Long scoring a fucking goal. Shane Long has now scored 50 Premier League goals. That is like finding out the earth is flat or that my parents are actually cousins from Blackpool. It is a genuine mind. Arsenal lost to Everton yet again. Is anyone surprised? That team has all the talent in the world, but they just do not travel well. I assume they travel well on a luxury bus. Like, I doubt they're all crammed into a fucking clown car. Like, Jesus Christ, Ganduzi's hair would need a seat of its own. It's not like they have to deal with a new time zone, a new culture. Lads, you're going 3 hours up the fucking motorway. Crystal Palace travelled to Newcastle and played out one of the most boring games known to man. I suppose it was a battle between two former Liverpool managers. One won an FA Cup, a Champions League, and is still rightfully held up as a god in the city. The other lost at home to Blackpool and signed Paul Konchesky. If he'd stayed any longer, he'd probably have had a brick put through his fucking window. Anyway, Crystal Palace won in the most Crystal Palace way possible. Like, do they have any other tactic other than just playing some dopey fullback clumsily fouls Wilfred Zaha in the box, allowing Luka Milivojevic to step up and ram home a penalty? They say there's a way to go down with grace. This is not it for Huddersfield Town. They have just given up at this stage. I mean, they've chucked Ben Haber in goal, a man who'd be better served handing out hot dogs outside the ground. I remember when Julian Lescott once said that relegation for Aston Villa was sort of like a weight lifted from their shoulders. Of course, when he said that, fans immediately felt like chucking dog shit at this car. But is the pressure off Huddersfield? Half the lads look like they've forgotten they're even on a goddamn pitch half the time. Yes, Leicester played well, but Jesus Christ, you'd think these Huddersfield players would want to put in a shift for their fans at the very least. Burnley beat Bournemouth 3-1 away from home, with Ashley Barnes scoring at both ends of the pitch. Lads, Bournemouth are remarkably lucky they started the season so well. It's almost as if they did enough before Halloween. 6 wins out of 10 and then just gave up. I mean, since the end of January they've won 1 game, and even that was against Huddersfield. I always say the teams ending the season terribly, usually you're going to continue the form into the next season. Like when Newcastle imploded under John Carver, they went down the next year. Believe it or not, Burnley, who finished 7th last season, they didn't win any of the last 5 games last campaign, and they struggled badly this time out. I would expect Bournemouth and Eddie Howe to be in serious relegation trouble next season. Chelsea beat West Ham 2-0 last night, with Eden Hazard absolutely tearing them apart, scoring one of the goals of the season. West Ham's Twitter did a great job of summing up the magic of the goal. Hazard gives Chelsea the lead. So what else happened in the football world? Andy Carroll's West Ham career is over. I mean, does anyone really care? I didn't think so. I mean, Chris, if that man was a horse, he would have been brought outside and shot in the head many years ago. Back in 2011, he genuinely looked like he was going to be the original Harry Kane. Since then, his career has just consisted of spaghetti hairstyles, punching Stephen Taylor in the face, getting robbed at gunpoint, and turning up to weddings in a goddamn tracksuit. Oh, and injuries. Lots and lots of injuries. Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.